Dulscone, and this has been a conundrum today, isn't it? This has been a mission. Lots of you obviously joined us earlier on to find out we had an absolute belter of a little donkey foal born this morning, and what followed next was like, I can't even describe the level of confusion, bewilderment and amazement that this had all happened, and this was the circumstances that we found ourselves in. It was the most bizarre situation I've ever seen in farming, and that's saying something. I've seen some bizarre situations, especially at Dulscone. So I'll get you caught up quickly about what happened this morning. Me and Connor were down cleaning out one of the pens, and we looked out, and there was a donkey foal standing in between Star and Mary. And I said to C, oh man, there's a donkey foal out there. I knew we should have ran them in. Thank goodness it was okay. And it wasn't stuck in the bag or anything. And all is well. They have foaled, by the way, a month early than what we thought they were going to. It was May, June when they came to the farm. It was May, June that they were supposed to be foaling. So it was a little bit earlier than we thought. However, we did see the size of their bags and the size they were getting, so we knew they weren't too far away. So I was like, oh, thank goodness we got away with it okay. And then went further into the paddock to check that the foal was all right and all mums were well and there was no issues. And just beyond it was a stillborn foal, still in the bag on the side of the hill. And I was like, I had to stop for a minute. Few different situations. Have they both foaled at the exact same time? Or has one had twins and one's not made it? Both unbelievably rare circumstances that would have happened. I can't tell you how rare that would have been for both of them. But obviously it was one of these occasions had occurred. So it turns out both donkeys had in fact foaled at the exact same time. And unfortunately, one of them had a stillborn. Now the confusion went in even further because we had to then try and figure out who had the stillborn. And not to go into too many graphic details, but the reason the foal was still in the bag and stillborn, it was a slight deformity, and it meant that it developed its intestines outside, from the navel, outside its body. So the vets checked it over and confirmed that's what it is, and confirmed it would have been stillborn. Peter was out tonight. So obviously a rare occasion with that anyway. So we've got two rare occasions happened. Both donkeys have gave birth at the same time, and then we've had this really rare deformity that does happen in horses and donkeys, but it's not very often. So who was the mum? This is where the confusion went even deeper, because both mums thought the foal was theirs, and both were behaving exactly the same way. And I mean almost mirroring each other's behaviour. The foal is grey, so that gives us no indications from either mum at all, because it's different colours from both mums. So we're starting from scratch with that one. But whose could it possibly be, and how do you find out? Well, the answer is you can't. You don't know, because none of them are going to tell you. Because both of them think they've had this foal, and both of them want this foal. So this morning the case was, listen, let's see if we can find an orphan foal to put on one of the mums. And I spoke to the equine hospital up in Lanark, who are very helpful. I spoke to the head behaviouralist for the donkey sanctuary down in Devon, all off the back of our live. And the equine hospital in Lanark said, take it off and give it to one of the mums straight away, and give the foal back to the one that you think's not had it, that has had the stillborn. And the donkey sanctuary said, leave the foal on for 3 days and see what happens. So obviously it was becoming apparent nobody really knew what to do with it. There was difference of opinions in there. And I'm looking at it on the ground and looking at our donkeys here and looking at this gorgeous little foal. And when you stood back and looked in the pen, he would go in to Mary over here for a sook. And you think, Yeah, that's it. It was obviously bonded with Mary, and that's fine. So Mary must have gave birth to him. And then 5 minutes later, he would wander over and he would nestle himself into Star, get a wee cuddle, and then he would go in there and have a sook. Like, that tells you absolutely nothing, because it is nursing from both donkeys at the same time. It is treating both donkeys as one. To the foal, it has two mums, because both mums have treated it exactly the same way and are still treating it exactly the same way. So I phoned Peter the vet. I said, can you come over and check the donkeys? Make sure you think everything's okay. They've came out of the birth all right, and there's no concerns there. He confirmed there wasn't. Everything was absolutely fine. So the search this morning, just to rewind a wee bit back to this morning, I was searching for an orphan foal. Orphan foals can come up from time to time. Orphan donkey foals, very rare. You could maybe widen the search to maybe like a pony or a Shetland pony, because they're small enough. So you could potentially do that. So you could potentially have a Shetland pony or a donkey. So you've got 3 different options there to get a foal. I spoke to Phil from Cannon Hall. He's a friend of mine, and he was giving his opinion on it as well. And much the same thinking as me of, oh my goodness, what's the chances of this happening? Like, you're joking, this has actually happened. And we're just kind of going back and forward with a few different ideas. And I was asking about an orphan foal, and he didn't think it was a good idea. And then, which I kind of was 50-50, I was on the fence about it. And then I had the epiphany, all of a sudden, of an orphan foal is never going to work. For the simple fact is, not one of these mums think they've lost a foal, so why on earth would they accept an orphan? It would be different if they had lost a foal and they were fully aware and looking for a foal, but none of them are looking for a foal because to them they have it. Their little foal is here. Like, it's as simple as that to them. They're not bothered, they're not missing anything at all, because whoever's had the stillborn foal does not know that they've had it, and they're fully thinking that that is theirs. So they don't know. The stillborn foal, as we're looking at it just now, in this situation, from the donkey's mind, does not exist, doesn't come in the picture, because they don't know it ever did existed, because to their mind, this is the only donkey that's ever existed, and this is the one that they want. So how on earth are you going to twin an orphan foal on, even if you had the long shot of finding one? How on earth would you twin it on there because no mum thinks they're missing a baby? Because if you tried to put an orphan foal on, they're going to boot it and rustle it about because they're wanting their foal back. And I say there because it's collectively. What did I tell you about mimicking their actions? I told you it's exactly the same. Like, they come over, Star puts her head in her, Mary puts her head in her. Sorry, it's a little boy. So an orphan foal was never going to work. So Peter came out tonight and he had said, he'd assessed both things. We'd felt both udders. I knew Mary had tons of milk because when I was looking at her this morning, just standing studying her, the milk was literally dripping out of her udder and nothing was touching it. She was just standing there and the milk was pouring out. You can see it in her back legs. You can see how much milk is poured down her back legs. It's all dried on now. It was just literally gushing out. And then I thought, well, maybe that little one that was stillborn was just so happened to be a little bit early. So if it was Star's, then that means that her udder wouldn't be producing as much milk. Nope, it's producing just as much and the milk's flowing out of it. So again, no surprise there and no clues on that one. So Peter came up with the idea, or he just said flat out, he just looked at it and he said, and this goes contrary to everything I was thinking all through the day, because I was thinking behaviours are going to change between one of these mums. And they're going to be not wanting the baby to nurse off one, they're going to be trying to keep it together with the other, and they're going to be keeping the baby to the side for themselves. And they don't want that baby doing anything. They're going to want it to themselves. And that's what I was thinking all the way through. But that's not the case. It hasn't transpired to that. So to everyone who's in the farm park today, I'm going to go full circle on what I said, because a lot of people are asking, can you not just leave it in with the both of them? And I said no, because they really need one mum to go in and sook and know that that's my mum that I nurse from, and the foal isn't going to come in any danger and everything's going to be okay. And that's what I thought. We're going to have just one mum, and we're just going to have to take the other one away, and we're just going to have to deal with whatever comes from that. And the other problem that we had with doing that is Star and Mary are completely bonded. They're a bonded pair. They don't separate. They are one. If you take one away from the other, they will freak out. And if you take one away from the other and take its foal away, they're going to doubly freak out. And also in my head, if we take we take the wrong donkey, and we take the donkey away who actually gave birth to this one without, if we take Mary away and she gave birth to that, and it was actually Star that had a stillborn, and we leave Star with the live one, Mary's going to be like, yeah, but that's actually my foal. Like, you can't take me away from my foal. That's my foal. It's the weirdest situation I have ever came across. So for just now, we're going to do a bit of co-parenting. And I'd said to everyone at the farm park today, I said, no, we're not going to do that, because I don't think it's going to work, because they're going to start, I'm concerned for the foal and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I don't have any concerns for the foal now. As time's progressed on, the donkeys seem fine. Both of them seem fine. Their attitudes towards each other are absolutely no problem. They're mimicking each other's behaviour almost move for move. And they have been all day. And there's no reason that one of these would turn on the foal or roughhouse the foal for any sort of gain. So, to save any distress, we're going to leave the foal where he is just now. And we're going to give them both the chance to see what happens. Now, what I'm hoping happens now, what I really hope happens is, he's going for a wee lie down here, I think. Is he? I think he's a bit tired. I can see from the way that he's been going on. Go on then. Down you get. Go on. Do you know how to do it? What I really hope happens is that the foal is going to bond to one mum over the other. And you see Star nestling him in just now. Trust me, Mary will do the same in 5-10 minutes. What I hope happens is the foal is going to bond more with one donkey over the other, and naturally it's just going to fade away from the other donkey. We don't ever have to separate them, but it's just naturally going to come to an end. He's going to stop nursing off one, and he's going to go on to the other. Unless something changes. Now, there is a DNA test, Peter was telling me, that you could find out who the actual mother is, but it's going to take a month to come back, and hopefully by a month we would kind of know an answer of the baby's taken to one over the other. And that, to be fair, that doesn't actually necessarily mean that is the maternal mum. It may just be that it bonded better with one donkey over the other, because it's going to be treated the same from both donkeys, because both donkeys think that's their foal. Again, the most confusing situation you could ever be in. Michelle says, bless, he hasn't worked out his legs yet. I think he's really wanting to lie down for a sleep, but he can't figure out how to get down. So it's a strange one. I've never seen anything like it. And he's been in nursing from both of them. And he's throwing little zoomers around the pen all day, and he's quite happy. I think he's just needing a little bit of a sleep. He's getting a bit tired. He's having a good stretch there. So I'm trying to do everything in what's best for both parties, the foal and the mums. Now, earlier on, I was convinced that it was Stars. I was like, it must be Stars, because of the way she's going on. And then later on in the afternoon, Mary had it cuddled in, getting it round for a sook, and Star couldn't have cared less. I was like, oh, it's definitely Mary's. And look at the way they're standing. Look where it stands, right in the middle of both of them. You know, it is honestly, it's impossible. And the more you stand and watch them, the harder it becomes. Because you keep swaying from side to side. Oh, it's that one. No, it's not. It's that one. It's not. It's that one. It's a strange situation. And I don't really know how else to explain it. And I don't know what the right move is going forward. Because everyone has a difference of opinion. Everyone does. They're all telling me different things. And I'm always thinking different things. At the start, I was like, right, let's get them separated off. We'll just have to go with that. Whatever one we think's the stillborn foal, we're going to give it back to let it mourn it, because the donkeys do that. But then I was like, what if we choose the wrong one? And we're giving it a foal that's not theirs? But then you can't have that situation because they think that foal is theirs, both of them. So they'd be looking at this strange foal that they don't recognise because they think that is theirs. And a month-long DNA test isn't going to help anything, because by a month, hopefully, the foal's up on its feet and running around, and then at that stage it's like, well, who cares who the real mum is? It doesn't really matter. If we could get a DNA test tomorrow, it would maybe help, but if it takes a month, it's useless. Completely useless, may as well not do it. Kiana says, out of tragedy, I think a beautiful thing occurred. They're besties and now share a baby. They do. They do. Carol says, two mummies going to Highland Show with one foal at foot. You explain that to the judges. I can't even explain it to myself and you guys now. I'm trying my best, but holy moly, it's hard. Can they go inside under cameras for more observation? Yeah, they can. Kyle's over there. You see Kyle Nightlammer, and he's going to keep an eye on the foal tonight, make sure everything's all good. He's quite happy. If there was anything at all, we've got the Lanark vets on speed dial 24/7. We'll nip it up any time if there was anything to go wrong. But hopefully it shouldn't. Why? I don't have any concerns, and why would it? It's got two very happy mums. It's not looking hungry. It's nursing from both of them. I don't know. But we're well prepared and we're well set up for that to happen. We will be making space in here tomorrow. So they're coming into one of these pens tomorrow. Probably this pen where my finger is just now is going to be going in there. Honestly, if you're perplexed, I am twice as perplexed. I can assure you. Was one standing over the stillborn when you found them? No, they were both standing like this when I found them. The stillborn was the other end of the field. Sheila says all three of them seem family. Is it seem happy with each other? Is a two-mum family feasible? I guess. I guess. I don't know. Nobody's ever seen it before. And nobody's seen it where they go on the exact same. Look where the foal's got. He's smack in the middle of both of them. Keeps happening. I don't think the foal knows where to pin his allegiance to. So he just goes with both. He's quite happy with both. He's protected by two mums because they're both very protective of him. But they're not really protective of him towards the other. And that was my worry. But they're quite happy to share him. This could only happen at Dulscone. Honestly. Mary Ellen says they're letting baby feed off each other. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. The baby is feeding off both mums. And both of them are quite happy with that. Pam says, can you put the stillborn into them and see which one goes to it? It's too late. You know, and none of them were at it in the field. They just wrote it off. Because they don't see that as being their foal. They see that as being their foal. So, we'll just have to see how it goes. There's not much else we can do. It's a bizarre situation. Farmer Pete will keep you updated. 6:36 tomorrow. And we'll see how things go. Honestly, we'll never be any more perplexed as what I am just now. It's a strange situation. But wee Foley's getting tired, I think. You okay, pal? Oh, steady, steady, steady. And look, there's Mary protecting them now. And Star comes round the front, protects them from there. Look at the way they're standing. Look where the foal is. Look, they've both got their heads over them. Look at them! Come on! Give us a clue. We have absolutely no clue. Look where they've got their heads. William Laurie Barron says, looks like they've worked it out, so why mess with it? Well, messing with it might be the worst thing we could possibly do. It could be the worst thing that we possibly do, because we just don't know. We just don't know who the mum is. So there you go. Look at them both looking at us. And this is a perfect example of what's been going on all day. It's exactly how they've went on all day. So updates coming in the morning. Hopefully the foal's up doing a few zoomers. He was earlier on round about the pen. He's quite happy, and like I say, he's getting a father is the same. Someone's asking, is the father of the foal the same dad? Yes, they're both in foal to the same dad, so that doesn't help us either. And apparently the dad was coloured, so that doesn't help us either. Coloured like white and brown, I believe. Drew might text me and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what colour he was. So that doesn't give us any clues either. So yeah, let's see. 6 out of 6 tomorrow. I'd like to see the foal doing a few more zoomers out and about. I think it's very tired after a long day, and quite rightly so. It's had a big one, probably the biggest day of its life. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Mums are quite happy, as you can see, both with their heads over the top of it. The most bizarre situation, the most bizarre Dulscone story I think we've ever had. Only happens here. It only happens here. Look at that for a picture. Pfft, crazy, isn't it? Maureen says he'll grow like a weed from feeding from both. Yeah, that's what I said to Peter tonight. I was like, we're going to end up with a Jack Donkey, like, standing up here. Anyway, that'll do us for tonight. The kids are in the pushchair, or as Connor would say, pram chair, round the back, and they're sleeping, so I'm going to get them home into bed. And yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow for more lives and hopefully more live births. And Kyle's getting everything fed up in here. He's busy away, so hopefully he has a busy night as well, and we can rattle through a few more births. So from now, that is us. That's where we stand with the baby. Bizarre situation, and hopefully we'll get some more answers tomorrow, but we'll see what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow's a new day. Weather's looking good, so we'll see you all then. Thanks for joining us from Farmer Ben and all team at Dulscone. Thanks for joining us. See you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.